With just about 20 games left, who has the best odds at Connor Bedard? Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Tank for Bedard series, where we take a look at all the teams currently in the Bedard race, see how their previous week went, did they go up, down, all of that good stuff, and then we finish off the video with 3 or 5 spins on tankathon.com to see if the Montreal Canadiens have a legit shot at Connor Bedard. Now, this is going to be one of the last weeks before the trade deadline, so it'll be interesting to see how the past 4 weeks go compared to, let's say, the next 4 weeks to see if these teams got way worse or not. Now, without further ado, let's get into the first team, and just like usual, we're going to start off with the Florida Panthers. And if it's your first time here, you may be wondering, why the hell are we talking about the Panthers? They're nowhere near last place. Well, that's because this is a Habs channel, and if you didn't know, the Montreal Canadiens hold Florida Panthers' first round pick unprotected, and they're currently out of a playoff spot, so that's why they're important to us. So yeah, let's dig into their week. Now, they only played 2 games, but they went a solid 50-50 with 1 win and 1 loss. They are currently a couple points out of the last wild card spot, but there's like 5 or 6 teams all fighting for that same spot. So the odds are very good for us Habs fans. And just looking at their point percentage, they're still only 11th last place in the league, which means if they kept up this point percentage for the rest of the season, they'd still have a technical shot at moving up 10 spots in the draft lottery. But yeah, not a bad week. 1 win, 1 loss, like I said. Definitely would rather have 2 losses, but it's better than them continuing a win streak. Now we're going to talk about the Ottawa Senators, who are a team that are kind of, I wouldn't say far from a playoff spot, but there's a lot of teams ahead of them, and they got to make up some ground. And, I like that. I think they have that kind of underdog vibe in them, and I really hope they continue to win some games, and they'll eventually pass Florida Panthers. So how did their week go, you ask? They went 2 losses and 1 win. Not too great, but like I said, I think they have this kind of energy. There's going to be no quit, and they're going to keep pushing forward. I don't think we're going to catch up to them as Habs fans, which is good. Good to have teams stay above you, and they're realistically a team that could stay ahead of the Florida Panthers, and you know what? The more teams ahead of them is the better as well. Now, moving on, we have the Vancouver Canucks, who have been kind of mid. This week they played 3 games, split it right down the middle, I guess. 1 loss, 1 overtime loss, and 1 win. It's not too bad. We currently have a game in hand compared to them, but they're only a point behind us. They're starting to win a couple more games, get a couple more overtime points, and I'm liking that. I really hope they bounce back and they get themselves out of this horrible drought. As well as Thatcher Demko coming back. If he plays anywhere near like last year, they're going to for sure start winning tons of games. Doesn't matter what kind of team they have in front of him. He's a great goalie, and the more wins they pile up, the better for us. Now, out of the teams that also have a chance of passing us, there's the Arizona Coyotes, and they did not do too great this week. They got 2 losses out of 2 games played. It's not great. They currently are only 5 points behind us, so if they were to have won a game or 2, they'd be right there sitting behind us. But like I said, they're a team that can realistically pass us. They do have some pretty solid players on the team, and I think they're going to continue to get a couple wins for the rest of the season, and hopefully they make it to overtime a couple too many times. Now for the Columbus Blue Jackets, who currently sit last place, but good news here, they're only 10 points behind us. I'm not saying that's like, they're going to catch up to us, but last place used to be like 15 points away. It only being 10 points behind us is not that bad. It's not that big of a gap, and it's just some good news there. Now, how did their week go? Just like most of the other teams, right down the middle, 1 win, 1 overtime loss, and 1 regulation loss. So pretty 50-50, or I guess 33, 33, and 33. But it's not bad, like I said. Last place team, you're not going to expect them to go 3 for 3 in the week. So getting 3 out of 6 points is not bad. Now here's where it gets a little interesting. We have the San Jose Sharks, who currently we have a game in hand over them. But their week wasn't terrible. They had, just like the other teams, 1 win, 1 overtime loss, and 1 regulation loss. And the thing about this team, they're only 6 points behind us. And the day that I'm recording this is Tuesday the 28th. The Montreal Canadiens are in San Jose tonight. This is a huge game for the Habs to lose. I know it sounds crazy, but if we lose, they bump up to only 4 points behind us. And if we win, that's brutal because now we're 8 points away from that top 4 spot. So big game for us. We have to lose it. Now finally, we have 2 teams remaining. One is the Anaheim Ducks, who had quite a solid week. 1 loss, 1 overtime loss, and 2 wins, which brings them to around 45 points. You're going to see 47 on the screenshot because, like I said, I'm recording this on the Tuesday and they played Monday and won. So that's good news as well. But for last week, they moved up to 45 points, only 9 behind us. And spoiler alert, they won last night as well. So we're only 7 points away from a bottom 2 spot. Absolutely crazy. Now finally, the last team to talk about, the Chicago Blackhawks. My oh my, have they been doing well. 3-game win streak last week. They also played last night versus Anaheim and they lost. But still, they're at 47 points, just like Anaheim. They're both tied for the second last place. And that's amazing. Only 7 points away from us. Like, this is the closest we've been to the bottom all season. And this upcoming week is important, like I said, because the Montreal Canadiens are playing against the Anaheim Ducks and San Jose. Losing both of those will be crucial. If we win them both, I'll probably shed a tear or two. But I guess there's nothing that we could do. It's all out of our control. But yeah, now the Habs, I think I forgot to go over them. So I'm going to quickly say how their week went. And you know what? 2 wins, 1 loss. Not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of it at all. I would rather them have 0 wins throughout the week. And yeah, it's not the best performance, like tank-wise, let's say. Currently at 54 points. And like I said, 10 away from the last place. 7 points away from bottom 2. Or bottom 3 because they're tied. And only 6 away from bottom 4. And if we lose tonight, that's only 4 points away from the bottom 4. So like I said, huge night, huge week for the Habs. Now we're going to finish off our weekly tank update with 3 or 5 tankathon spins. I say that because every week I do 3 and we never do anything. So I'm pushing it for 5 spins. So let's get started with roll number 1. Bam, absolutely nothing. I do not want to see the St. Louis Blues get Connor Bedard. Here we would be picking 8th and 11th. Not amazing. Time for spin number 2. 8th and 11th. Not great, not great. Spin number 3. Here we go. Oh my goodness. All right. 7 and 11 would be this time. And now we're going to go for 2 more spins. So here goes spin 4. Nothing. And spin 5. Nothing. Alright guys, so if this does not prove to you that the Habs need to lose more games, then I don't know what is, because we have 2 picks, that are capable of moving up to number 1 or number 2, and it hasn't happened in the past 3 weeks that I've been doing this. I've spun the wheel like 3 to 5 times a video, and we haven't got up once. So if you aren't on the tank side yet, you think we're fine in the position we are, then I suggest you change sides right now, because we have to lose more games. Anyways, guys, that is going to be all for today's video. If you did enjoy, don't be afraid to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.